Recruit, and welcome to Astroneer Academy 503, Expanding Automation. Exodynamics has continued to expand upon the concept of automating many tasks ever since automation was first introduced. Sadly, there still aren't hover chairs for us to lounge about in, and we are still not sipping our meals through straws, but improvements to existing modules, as well as several new items, has given us tools to greatly expand upon automation. If you would like to review the basic concepts of automation, including how various sensors and repeaters function, you can head back to Astroneer Academy 306. Today, though, we want to discuss some improvements Exodynamics has made to automation since our time together in Astroneer Academy 306. This will be one of our shorter courses, as we are primarily introducing the new and changed objects to prepare for the next 4 courses. The repeater function was added to the small, medium, and large printers, along with the soil centrifuge, chemistry lab, and atmospheric condenser. Essentially, this feature will allow these modules to continue creating one object or resource repeatedly until you cancel the repeater function. The repeater function appears on the control panels of these modules as a small blue button with 3 arrows in a circle. Simply press the button to toggle the repeater function on and off, which can be done with your pointer, via the E key on keyboard, or the extra square button on a controller. For printers, activating the repeater function will instruct the printer to continue printing the same object repeatedly. The printer will continue to print that same object until you cancel printing, toggle the repeater button off, or until it consumes the required resources available to it on attached storage. If you only wish to print a handful of any given item, especially on the small printer, it's a good idea to provide only the number of resources required or keep a close eye on the printer. If you give it dozens of resources or walk away while it's printing, you might find yourself with a lot more printed items than you intended. When the repeater function is activated on the soil centrifuge or chemistry lab, they will continue to create the resources you selected until you manually stop them or they run out of their required resources. This functionality allows you to create a large quantity of resources without having to manually press the start button on the control panel over and over again. And it will definitely come in handy for the various scenarios that we will be discussing in Astroneer Academy 504 Automated Production. Finally, the repeater function on the atmospheric condenser allows it to continue collecting multiple canisters of an atmospheric resource until all attached storage is filled. This may seem confusing at first, especially if you haven't been a very active astroneer lately. Before the repeater function was added to the atmospheric condenser, it would simply continue producing atmospheric resources until all attached storage was full. And while that can be convenient in some circumstances, adding in the repeater function now gives us a choice. If the repeater function is not active, the atmospheric condenser will stop after filling a single gas canister. But, as we mentioned a moment ago, when the repeater function is active, it will continue filling gas canisters until there is no more available storage. Moving on, all existing reaction slot items have been upgraded to include target pin, and a target pin replaces fireworks on the extra large canopy. The large ring storage, large hoop platforms A and B, and extra large arch platform have all gained new target pins, and we will discuss these further in a later course. These target pins have the same functionality of all the target pins that we discussed in Astroneer Academy 306. You can create branches to target multiple items by placing segment pins, and these segment pins will even allow you to place additional segment pins to create even more branches and target pins. Of course, we are still limited to a total of 12 segments for any given sensor or repeater. However, you can simply target a repeater with your final target pin, and then use the pin on that targeted repeater to continue activating objects by the signal sent from the first sensor or repeater. In addition to the added functionality of the items we just discussed, we have several new items that provide sensor zones or expand upon how we can control the signals passed to the target and segment pins. So let's run through a really quick review of some of these new schematics. The counter repeater is printed on the small printer from 1 zinc and can be unlocked for 1000 bytes. This repeater will only activate its target pin when the counter repeater itself has been activated a specified number of times, ranging from 1 to 8. It can be activated by a target pin from any other repeater or sensor. The delay repeater, when activated, also activates any targeted items, but only after a specified delay. The delay ranges from 1 to 25, though these are not seconds. their cycles. Each cycle is, on average, 0.15 seconds long. So a delay of 1 will appear to activate almost instantly, while the longest delay of 25 will delay the activation by around 3.5 seconds. The delay repeater is crafted on the small printer from 1 zinc and is unlocked with 1000 bytes, and it features a single target pin. Both the delay repeater and the counter repeater emit a tone that increases in pitch as you increase their values and decreases in pitch as you lower their values. The medium sensor arch is unlocked with 500 bytes and crafted on the large printer from 1 quartz and 1 zinc. When an Astroneer, vehicle, marble, or recreational sphere passes through its sensor zone, it will activate any items connected to its target pins. The medium sensor arch is meant to be freestanding, so it does not require any platform for stability, and it features 6 target pins. Its sensor zone is clearly visible and even produces an audible cue when it is activated. You will find this same type of sensor zone present in several other items that we discussed a moment ago, along with the next 2 that we will take a look at. The extra large sensor hoop A, along with the next item we will look at, functions much like a medium sensor arch. This hoop is crafted on the large printer from 2 quartz and 2 zinc and is unlocked with 750 bytes. It features 3 power cable connectors, 3 tier 2 slots along the top of the hoop, and 3 target pins. Unlike the medium sensor arch, the sensor zone on the extra large sensor hoop, along with that of the next item we will discuss, is horizontal instead of vertical. Extra large sensor hoop B is unlocked with 1000 bytes and is crafted on the large printer from 1 quartz and 3 zinc. It features 3 power cable, 6 tier 2 slots, and 6 target pins. The medium gas canister is crafted on the small printer from 1 silicone and 1 glass and can hold 160 units of a single atmospheric resource, which is the equivalent of 32 small gas canisters. The medium gas canister can be stored in any tier 2 slot. The large active storage is a storage unit with some unique properties. It can be activated to stand upright or lay flat and features 15 tier 1 storage slots. On the back side of those storage slots are attachment slots that allow you to easily connect target pins from the various repeaters and sensors. This allows you to individually activate each tier 1 item stored on the front. Like most storage items, it can be placed on a platform and requires a tier 3 slot. There is one additional attachment slot near the base of the large active storage that allows you to connect a target pin to activate the storage itself between its upright and flat positions. It is crafted on the medium printer from 1 zinc, 1 aluminum, and 1 resin, and is unlocked with 2000 bytes. The large extended platform is crafted on the medium printer from 2 resin and is unlocked for 500 bytes. It includes 6 power cable connectors and 2 tier 2 slots separated by a long beam. Those 2 slots just so happen to be the perfect distance for an auto arm to be able to reach from one end to the other. The extra large extended platform is crafted on the large printer from 3 resin and is unlocked for 750 bytes. It features 4 power cable connectors and has a tier 3 slot in the center along with a single tier 2 slot at either end. Once again, these tier 2 slots are the perfect distance for an auto arm. All of the items that we have just covered can be integrated into numerous automation setups, so we'll be taking a look at them in action during courses over the next several weeks. In fact, all of our remaining 500 level Astroneer Academy courses will revolve around utilizing automation for several different purposes. But let's take a moment to go back to 2 that we just discussed. The extra large sensor hoops A and B, like all objects with a sensor zone, can be triggered by an Astroneer, marbles, recreational spheres, and vehicles. Their large, round horizontal sensors do lend themselves quite well to being triggered by shuttles landing or taking off. While both of these sensor hoops function very well, it seems they can have difficulty detecting the takeoff or landing of a large shuttle on a landing pad. There are a few workarounds for this issue, however. First, you can simply elect to forego using a crafted landing pad and simply using the extra large sensor hoops with the natural landing spots present on every planet or moon, or by deploying them in conjunction with the starting landing pad on Silva. Alternatively, if you are skilled with a terrain tool, you can try building up small pads of soil where each leg of the sensor hoop will rest. This will give them added height and should allow landing shuttles to be detected. Or you could take the opposite approach and elect to dig down a bit to create a lower area for the landing pad to rest in. Either way, getting the top of the sensor hoops above the top of the shuttle should ensure that the shuttle is detected on every takeoff and landing. In our remaining Astroneer Academy 500 level graduate courses, we will be taking an in-depth look at utilizing automation in numerous ways. Our original automation course simply could not go into such depth because there was simply too much to cover with the introduction of automation itself. The course you're currently in was intended to bridge the gap and introduce new and updated automation items so we can offer a greater depth in the following courses. In Astroneer Academy 504, we will discuss automated production and how you can automate the creation of any resource or object. Astroneer Academy 505, Automation Logistics, will cover utilizing automation to sort, store, and move resources and items. The final two courses may be the most exciting to come, with Astroneer Academy 506 introducing how you can use automation to create light shows, fireworks displays, and even full musical arrangements. And then our final course, Astroneer Academy 507, will investigate how automation can be used to make functional logic gates that open up an entire new world of computational automation. So stay tuned for all of these courses over the next several weeks, which will include guest lecturers Tactile Object and T-Hill 17. But before we wrap up today, I want to tell you about our current Astroneer Academy giveaway. Simply head to the link on your screen or in the description down below to be entered in a giveaway for a PAL bundle redeemable in Astroneer. The PAL bundle includes the PAL visor and PAL palette that you see me wearing in every Astroneer Academy course. The entry period began when this video went live and will conclude at midnight Central US time on July 7th, 2021. For full details on the giveaway, be sure to visit the link on screen and in the description down below. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.